and welcome to Players Guild. Today we have spoilers for set 20, which is Z2?
Z3. Power absorbed.
Z3?
Yeah, and we're gonna ask the question: Is Android 20 and Dr. Mew / Super 17 / Super 17 1718 absorbed / Super 17 18 cell absorbed any good?
You missed Hellfighter 17 there.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Hellfighter. I'm sorry. Jokes aside, I'm actually very interested in this deck. Super 17 is one of my favorite villains from Dragon Ball. I even got gifted a figure of him, which is on my shelf, and I should have probably got it for this video, but I didn't. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. I love seeing Dr. Duro. I love seeing Dr. Mew. Let's talk about it, Loki.
My own history with Super 17 as well.
You do actually. That is true. You are green Shenron / like in the
green,
set 5 format.
The Android Shenron for the hand control. Yeah.
Yeah. I really love that deck you played.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So let's see if this will make you play Super 17 again.
No. Moving on.
Well, okay. So Android 20 and Dr. Mew. When this card attacks, look at the top 5 of your deck. Add a Android or Machine Mutant card, both green, energy cost of 6 or less among them, and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So search is a wide variety of cards. It's looking for your playmakers. Awaken when your life is 4 or less, or when you have 2 or more energy, while 1 or more Android 17 and Hellfire 17 cards are in your Z energy and battle area. Draw 2 cards, and then go down to 6. So break that down for me.
No.
Fair enough.
So okay, you need to have 1 or more Android 17 and Hellfighter 17. So you need 1 of each. Or more. In your Z energy and battle area. It doesn't say and or. It says end. Unless we have errata incoming.
Yeah, so to me that says you need both of them in your Z energy and battle area, right?
Or one in each. It can mean 1 in each.
Oh, it can mean 1 in each. Oh. That makes more sense because, like, oh, one's in hell, one's in the real world.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. You need 1 in the
it is worded a bit confusing, though.
Yes. They use so many words to make it even more confusing.
Yeah, but if it is the 1 on the battle and 1 in the Z energy, it's a lot better than I thought it was. If it is that you need 2 in both areas, that's terrible.
1 or more Android 17 or Hellfighter 17 in your Z energy, and 1 or more Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 in your battle area.
Right, okay.
I think you need a total of 2 between, but then it should be end or battle area. But it's not. If you know how this card awakens, do let us know in the comment.
Please do. So then we awaken into...
Oh, you draw 2 cards and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6.
Yeah.
That's important to mention. It's a draw awaken.
Yeah, no one tap. It's nice. It's nice. It's, again, quite refreshing.
Hellfighter 17, plans in motion.
Before we go in his effect, this artwork though.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It's correct. I need this in holo.
Okay. I still regret that they don't do the leaders holo on both sides.
I know, it's such a cool thing if they did that. So plans in motion, Hellfighter 17. When this card attacks, draw a card. Pretty standard. Activate main, once per turn, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. I was about to say your opponent's life then. I was like, wait, what? That's not right. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand and choose up to 1 of your opponent's unisons and remove a marker from it. So a bit of like, oh, okay, I'm at 6 and I need to be at 4.
But why are
you can, or just remove a marker. Activate main once per turn. Place 1 card from under 1 of your Super 17 cards under this card. For the turn, reduce the skill cost of Z Awaken on Super 17 ready to absorb in your Z deck by 1 green.
Okay.
It's a fine leader. It's a gimmick because it's basically gonna disappear pretty much. Not straight away, but like it's fair. It's fairly quickly going to become a different leader.
Yeah, I kind of dig it.
Yeah, if you want to dig for that extra card and add a card from your life to your hand, you can. And then if you get to remove a marker, you can just choose to take 0 and remove a marker every
if
turn.
you awaken on 6, then you might want to do that activate main.
Yeah, to get down to 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think so.
Yeah, I can see it. So then we have
Onyx Lightning, the 8-drop, boss monster, the big boss monster. Although technically, funny enough, the boss monster in this deck is actually this Z leaders, but that's a different story.
Yes, we'll get to them. They're very cool.
8-drop, 30,000 power, 0-5k combo, which is I'm still not used to seeing that.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like 110s have just been reserved for multis now.
And cards that need it.
Yeah,
quite
true.
literally mechanically needed because they're designed
yes.
on that. So auto limit 1 if your leader is green Super 17 card. Also, it's after you Z Awaken, or you play the set 4-1.
Yes.
When a card is placed from under this card in its owner's drop by your leader's skill. Okay, so it doesn't work when you try to reduce the cost of your Z Awaken because that puts it under the leader, not in the drop. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, and your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. And that's limit 1. That's actually quite cool.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little effect.
Discarding that 1 card feels... The 1 card feels a bit too insignificant. I think that's...
Yeah,
that's
in the current state of the game, yes.
Like,
where you have books for hands.
Yeah. Activate main, limit 1. Pay 2 green if you have 4 more energy and you choose Hellfighter 17 card in your Z energy. And 1 Android 17 card in your battle area. Why couldn't it be written like this?
Yeah, right. That's what makes sense to me.
Never mind. Play this card from your hand. Place all of the chosen cards under it. And this card gains double strike, barrier, dual attack for the turn. All the keywords.
I do like this. I really like this. I think it's pretty simple. Pretty simplistic. Yeah. I like it. So you get the swing for the double strike. You get to push if you really want it. If not, you've got the blocker there next turn.
It has barrier for the turn, so yeah.
So they're not going to interrupt.
It comes with 2 cards underneath, so you get 2 uses of the effect, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty fun. I think it on a power level scale, it doesn't feel anything beyond fine to me, at least.
Super rare.
I think it feels above rare to me, but it doesn't feel super rare, if that makes sense. Like I'm in that, like, I can see it, but I don't think it's a rare. It's one of those. It's a very interesting one.
It's just a step up from the rare, but not. It's like a half a step between rare and super rare.
Yeah.
It is stronger than your usual rare, but it's not to the power level we are used to from seeing super rares. It's also not generic.
Yeah, not very specific, but specific enough to that.
Hellfighter and Android.
Yeah, which limits you in what you're going to be playing.
Yeah. Dan, one thing I do want to mention: none of them need to be green.
No, that is true. That is true.
So
you can look at the yellow lines.
Yeah.
I think someone did post about that yellow one that has some synergy with the drop area. That was in one of the championship promos. So that might be interesting if you want to look at a green-yellow build, which we know androids really like green-yellow, so it's not like it's a weird combination of cards to mix.
Yeah, I hope that there's going to be some support for the green-yellow and Successor, but we know that Successor is a bit too problematic of a...
Successor is a very scary keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next up.
Super 17, Hell's Avenger.
The 6-drop, 2 specified green, 20k power, also got blocker. If your leader is a green Super 17 card or green Hellfighter 17 card, so it works with this leader, but it also works with the old one. When this card attacks, use up to 1 card from under this card in a combo, and your opponent places 1 of their Z energy in its owner's drop. I actually kind of like how this can target the Z energy.
Yes. So... See, here we're coming to a crossroads where I think that they overtuned this. So it's one of those things that it taxes a hand by a bit, it taxes battle cards by a bit, it taxes Z energy by a bit, taxes unisons by a bit, but not by a lot.
Yeah, right. Like it's an inconvenience, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not game stopping in any way, because it doesn't do any of them properly. Losing 1 Z energy, I think, is by far the heaviest interaction that this deck has. But it also only works when this card attacks. It doesn't work when this card is in battle.
Blocking. I would have liked to have seen it when it attacks or blocks, because then you can really get used to it.
Then it's actually useful. Then it makes your opponent think, and then it feels like it has a proper power level.
Yeah. And then we've got the activate main of limit 1 if you've got a Hellfighter 17 and use the energy. 17 on your battle. You put them underneath it. Theme-wise, it's great.
I mean,
it becomes a
draw
double
one card,
strike.
it only costs 1 to drop it. It gets double strike and barrier, but doesn't get dual attack here.
So then you're down for the blocker, which kind of sucks.
I would like to see on this one, rather than double strike, a dual attack. And then put once per turn on that auto. If you're going to keep it to just attacking.
Yeah, I think so. Right? That makes sense to me. So it's weird that they didn't do that, but that's the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes.
It's fine. Moving on, we have actually our materials. So Hellfighter 17, Calculated Cruelty, the free drop with 3 specified green. 15,000 power. Activate main, limit 1, pay 1 green if your leader is green Super 17 or green Hellfighter 17. And you have Android 17 in play, play this card from your hand. Okay, so you get to drop it pretty much as soon as you can after you awaken.
Yeah.
And activate main, limit 1, if your leader is green Super 17 or green Hellfighter, and you place 1 green non-Hellfighter 17 from your Z energy in its owner's drop, add this card from your drop to your Z. Okay, so yeah, the Hellfighters keep on swapping to put themselves from drop into Z energy.
Yeah.
So you can charge whatever you want and always have an access to that Hellfighter in the Z energy. Because I know there is another one, I think 1 drop that does the same thing. Has the same activate main.
You're not going to be too stuck.
Also, I love the fact, I love the fact that the Hellfighter 17 has the Red Ribbon Army outfit, and the Android 17 doesn't.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't even remember why there was 2 Android 17s.
What one was in Hell?
Yeah, but why was it split?
Oh, because they needed to open the portal, and they did the thing where they.
I remember that Goku was locked in Hell, in hellish ice, and then the ice started to run away because he was too hot, because he was alive.
Yeah, that whole arc is actually really fun. I implore people to go back and watch it. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But there's a lot of quirky stuff in that arc, which I really like.
I mean, one of the biggest redundancies in Dragon Ball comes from that arc. Android 17 showed up and said to Android 18, "You and I are the same." Then Android 18 responded, "You and I are the same." And then the narrator, the Android 17, showed up and said that him and 18 are the same. And that was all within 30 seconds.
Just if you don't get it. 17
yeah, in case you missed it.
Look, guys, we really need to specify this.
That's one of the biggest redundancies in the anime.
Next up.
Yes, next one is Hellfighter 17, the Brainwasher. So that's the 1 drop. When it's played, draw 1 card. And activate main, place this card in its owner's drop. Play up to 1 Android 17 Brainwashed Fighter from your deck with skills negated for the turn and shuffle your deck. Okay, so you just need to charge a Z-charge, whatever. You play this guy. You need to have 2 energy for that, for the awaken. You play this guy, send him to the drop, play the Android 17 from your deck, and then send your Z energy to put this one, because it also has the one that lets you swap. Oh no, it's only when you Hellfighter. Never mind. This is more difficult than I thought. This skill only works if you're already awakened, so it doesn't actually even help you awaken. It just
it's
play
for Super 17.
Yeah, it just lets you play the 6 and 8 drop, but you only have those 2. Moving on, we have Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 synchronized.
The 4 drop SR, 2 specified green, 0, 5, 15k. Activate main, limit 1. 1 green. If your leader is a green Super 17 card or green Hellfighter 17, and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. That's fine. It acts as both materials, which is nice, so it can be in your Z energy and blah blah blah. Activate main, limit 1, place this card in Cerner's drop. Play up to 1 Android 17 card and 1 Hellfighter 17 card, both green with an energy cost of 1 from your deck and or drop with their skills negated for the turn, and shuffle your deck if you look through it. So it basically allows you to get your pieces if you need it.
Yeah, so you pay 1, attack with it, and then you suck it.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it's for.
It's a good little playmaker. It's fine.
Yeah. Next one is Key Energy Absorb. For some reason. Okay.
Counter attack.
Limit 1, negate the attack. Additionally, if the attacker was a Saiyan card, choose up to 1 of your Super 17 cards and switch it to active mode.
I love the flavor of this, and I think it's actually kind of cool, and I hope we kind of see more.
That's how you get your blockers back, I guess.
Yeah, I hope we kind of see more of this kind of design, because that really does influence what you can side in and out in the matchups. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going against. So right now it's Crimson Coup, right? Like he's really strong. So you're playing Saiyans. You might put this in. If you're not playing against the Saiyan, it's an easy card to take out. Yeah. And I really like that.
It's still negate the attack, isn't it? And then if your leader is a green Super 17 Z leader, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its cost by discarding another card. It's a good negate.
Yeah, it lets you get those 17s that swap from the drop. Yeah, so I think it is a really nice tech card. Like I really like this card a lot.
Yeah. Now we're going to jump into the actual boss monster of the deck. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Super 17 ready to absorb.
So this is the one that you get from the leader effect.
So you make him cheaper from the leader effect. So he costs 2 Z energy. And Z Awaken on 2 green when your life is 4 or less on a green Hellfighter 17. But the green Hellfighter makes him cost 1. 1 green, which is nice. He has Z stack 2 for green Super 17 leader, which we're going to see the 2 different leaders that we're going to be rotating. This is a nice use of Z stack because unlike Boo, you don't need to keep on rotating them. So in Boo, it just uses up your whole Z deck. Here, you keep on rotating them. Sorry. So you only need 3 cards and then you have 4 slots open for other Z cards.
Yeah.
At the end of your opponent's turn, place this card from under your Z leader on top of your leader. So that's... You keep on coming back to this one.
Yeah.
And then activate main. Once per turn, place up to 1 green Android card with cost of 1 from your deck or drop under this card. And shuffle your deck if you looked through it. I don't exactly remember why it's here, but I think it has something to do with the other Z leaders. Do you want to take the Android 18 Z leader?
Super 17, bound by blood. She is a free Z energy, Z Awaken for 2 green, 2 unspecified. When your life is 2 or less, green Hellfighter 17.
We're never going to do
that. We're not going to. If an Android 18 card is under your leader and you place 1 card from under a Super 17 card in your battle area in its turner's drop, at the end of your turn, place this card from under your leader on top of your leader. Also, once per turn, when your opponent attacks, choose up to 1 of your Super 17 cards and switch it to active mode. Nice. Yep. Also, once per turn, if it's your opponent's turn, when an opponent switches 1 of their energy to rest mode, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card when energy cost of 4 or less, KO it. Really like that effect.
This is scary because just paying for cards is going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not buying effects. It's not this, that, and the other. It's literally, oh, you've changed something to rest mode. Oh, and she's also 20k.
Yeah, she's 20k base. That's the scary bit, isn't it?
Yeah, she's
very
a
defensive. Very, very, very defensive.
Yeah, so
and then, of course, at the end of that turn, you go back to your original Super 17.
Yes. And then
Super 17 Diabolical Union. Free Z energy and Z Awaken cost is the same as the other one, so it's 2 green, 2 unspecified. When your life is 2 or less on green Hellfighter 17, the same, we're never going to do that. Once per turn, when this card attacks, draw 1 card. And then, once per turn, if it's your turn, when an opponent's energy is switched to rest mode, switch this card to active mode and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. If a cell card is under your leader and you place 1 card from under a Super 17 card in your battle area in its owner's drop, place this card from under your leader on top of your leader. So this is the aggressive version. So if you do this, you do get 20k as defensive, but you only get your base Z leader back at the end of your opponent's turn, so you don't get to go into the blonde one, the Android 18. This one draws you cards when attacks. And yeah, if your opponent tries to counter you, you just restamp this guy, even if they negate the attack, and then you remove 1 of their battle cards. Not checking the cost doesn't go around barrier. And you can keep on reabsorbing on your Super 17 with the cell, because we have a 1-drop cell, we have a 1-drop Android 18. All of those, you just keep on absorbing, just so you have it. The problem is that you can only do it so many times, as many times you can play Super 17.
Yes, that is true.
I think none of them have an actual protection.
No, like they get protections, but it fades away.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very, very difficult to make it work. Because total you have 8, and both times they have 2, so you can do it technically 16 times, right? So that should last you the game.
Yeah, like
hoping. But you need to
if it's going that long, then probably gonna lose.
Yeah, but you need to see them, and then if you're playing against deck like Mechikabura, that's just sad.
Yeah, that's
true. Going to be hitting your drop.
Yeah, that is true. But outside of me, who's really playing Mechikabura?
Someone.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's a very interesting little. I love the switching between the modes. I think it's super cool. And again, just adds to that element of what the Z stack and what Bandai could still bring to this game. That's new and refreshing. I think it's cool. Would I play it personally? No, I wouldn't. But like, do I love it in terms of a concept? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
but we've got a few more cards to wrap up with.
Yeah, it's definitely an amazing concept, and this is how I like to see it being done.
Yeah, 100%. More decks like this. I think that'd be really fun.
Then we have Android 17 Brainwashed Fighter, which was named by the Hellfighter, the 1-drop. So it's a barrier, and when it's played from hand, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck and add 1 green android with cost 6 or less. Just as simple, you play it from the deck with skills negated for the turn, but then it gains barrier, so it's just going to be protected. Unless you're playing against another very powerful android deck.
Rest it, please, and give me the color. Thank you.
Exactly. It's also, that's the problem.
Yeah,
it would be so fun if it wasn't green.
Yeah, because this goes against Android 21. It's like, see you next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we have
Android 20 Vengeful Alliance.
The 2-drop with 1 specified green, 10k power. When this card is KO'd by an opponent's skill, add up to 1 green Android 17 card when it costs a 3 from your deck to your hand. Nice.
Yep.
Also, limit 1 if your leader is a green Sun Goku GT and this card and Dr. Mew Vengeful Alliance are in your warp, and you send 1 green Sun Goku GT card from your hand to your warp at the start of your main turn, main phase, draw a card. We'll get into that second effect in the next video we do, so hit that subscribe button.
Yes, those cards are going to be staying around, because I like this, because those 2 cards are cards that are designed for both of them, because they are essentially what created that whole situation.
Exactly. I think from a flavor aspect, this is some of my favorite flavor we've ever seen. Like, this set has nailed flavor 100%.
Yes. But the first effect is all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't
by a
like
skill,
to pay 2 for it. Yeah.
Will you ever spend 2 energy to play a 10 drop? 10k? Sorry.
I don't know. That's my issue. It's like it's a decent-ish effect where, okay, I've lost a body, it has to be by skill. I get the android that I want to see, but there's other ways to find that android that, let's be honest, better.
Yeah. Then we have Dr. Mew, Vengeful Alliance. Permanent. It's the same stats as Android 20.
Ah, yeah.
Permanent. If your leader is a green Goku GT and this card is in your warp, you can't play non-green battle cards, which is cool. And we're going to talk about
It's interesting, different.
For very good reason it's there, but activate main, limit 1. If your leader is a green Super 17 card, you have 4 more energy, and you place this card from your hand in your drop. Play up to 1 Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 card, both with cost of 1 from your drop with their skills negated for the turn.
Yeah, really nice.
I think this one definitely is going to be seeing a 4 off, because you just need to discard it from hand.
Yep.
And then you attack with the leader, combo of Hellfighter. Hellfighter goes to the Z energy, and then you get to play Super 17.
Yeah, you do have to be Z awakened in this deck, but obviously it does work with the old one as well if you want. So I am kind of curious to see if people can make that work.
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Then we have Android 18, Powerful Query. So this is Android 18 that you need to have under your leader to go into the Android 18. Bonds Bound, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive one, either way. It has 1 drop 5k, but it has only 1 skill. Activate battle, limit 1. Send this card from under your Z leader to its owner's warp. Up to 1 of your leader gets 5k power for the battle. Mm-hmm. That's why you want to keep on absorbing them, so just in case you need to use them, it doesn't need to be used on their specific form, but you need them underneath to go into specific form.
Yeah.
And the last one... oh, yeah?
It's activate battle. It's a nice little battle trick to pull on your opponent. I think it's cool.
Yeah. And the last one is Sell Powerful Query. It works the same as 18, it just gives double strike. And you need to pay 1 green for that.
Which
also
makes
activate
it a
battle. And yeah, you can absorb it, and then it gains double strike only for the battle, so it's essentially a Champa that doesn't give power. Which is fine. I think it's fine on the leader that's 20k base and can restand.
Yeah, right? I think that's fine. It's also, it can catch your opponent off guard, right? You've got that Z stat, they might forget about it. Like, you've got your leader's going to be like this, and then, yeah, you swing in. Oh,
if you're going to have 4 cells and 4 Android 18s in that, you know.
Yeah. So it's really fun deck. Is it good? I don't think so.
No. I think we keep on seeing the same thing. Green is fun in that untapped potential.
Yeah.
Way. If we're going to play Super 17 versus Goku GT, it's going to be hella fun.
Lots of fun. Which I think you can't fault like the casual aspects of this deck, right?
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be super meta all the time. It would be nice if green got a bit of a shine. It's kind of a
King Cole
running joke.
That was King
it's kind
Cole
of a running joke
ago.
for green.
So that was also decent.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. As a Super 17 fan, as a fan of Heroes, I love seeing that both Cell Absorbed and Super 17/18 got a representation in here. Didn't think we'd ever see that. So, literally, there's a message when they first started revealing it was 17. I was like, ah, man, it'd be great to see Super 17 and 18 again, but I think it might have just been for that secret rare, and I was proved wrong, so it was nice to see. But yeah, guys, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We do videos like this for pretty much every game we cover. And of course, we keep bringing you that sweet, sweet content at least 3 times a week, maybe more in the coming days and weeks as we grow the guild. Yeah, we'll see you next time.